Their goal is to take the land. So means the little wagon they want to push over the cliff here. It's going to throw that wagon far enough. Somebody's going to light on fire, and it's going to send it down to that little downhill cliff, and that's going to ignite everything, just engulf everything. It's going to explode, and that's what's going to happen.
But he had predicted it would be bloody war here in the USA in 1965, but then he was assassinated, as we know.
Right.
And so it looks like that agenda has still been in the works because we're watching Ferguson.
Right.
And we're watching that most of the people in Ferguson weren't even
St. Louis
residents of that area.
St. Louis.
And they were disruptors.
In Utah, by the way. In Utah, too. There's nothing to report about a black guy shooting a white guy. This happened in Utah. And, the black-on-black crime going on, too, in Chicago. 23 people were in gang-related, shots fired. Black-on-black crime. 23 outrageous shootings going on. These are black-on-black people. And where's the news on that one? Nothing. Very quiet. Again, and now St. Louis, there's an officer that shot a 22-year-old kid, But again, where is the national news at? How come it's Ferguson? Because it's a black guy killed a white man. So, no, the white guy killed a black man. That's what happened, But you got to realize he was, even Ron Howell said the best. This guy was a criminal. What are you going to do with the criminal? You're going to shoot the bad guy, regardless of color, regardless of what you think that his right was. He did a crime, therefore he did the time. Well, that time was ended short because.
But you have to look at it even simpler than that.
Right.
What they're doing is they're targeting these local police cases that are handled by the local police.
Right.
Why is it that suddenly it's a national security issue that the entire federal government has to come down on taxpayer time and dime while they're releasing terrorists who are threatening to murder us?
Rose, I can answer that question for you.
Our land, and they're worried about some local police. I mean, God bless anybody who, dies or is injured or anything, but heaven forbid. The police have been handling these cases every single day somewhere across this country since time began.
Well, I can tell you, I can give you a great reason why. The answer is, look at Brian Terry at the border, by the way. This guy was Fast and Furious. And look what's going on. Fast and Furious 2 with Ferguson. Why Eric Holder was involved with both places now. So was Jesse Jackson and Sharpton now. Al Sharpton too. These guys were all for Brian, were defending the terrorists who actually shot and murdered our border agent. Now, same thing here in Ferguson. A police was a good guy. A police all he did was shoot a bad guy. Okay, regardless of color, he just shot a bad guy. All right, that's what he did. He shot a bad guy, and that guy deserved to be. He put himself in that position, so he did. He was on the line of fire, so he ended his life that way. You do the crime, you do the time. Big deal. But what's wrong with that? Whatever happened to you do the crime. You pay for the time. So he paid for it. He paid for his life. There you go. What is wrong with that, Rose? Why are they making a big deal about it? I don't get this. I don't understand this. I don't understand this craziness of the liberal communist press anymore. I don't get this anymore. I don't understand it. Go ahead.
Well, you just have to understand that this is not the same.
America.
This is not the same type of public servants running our country any longer, and they're turning our country upside down.
Right.
And what is right is wrong, and what's wrong is right. And
right.
The best thing people can do is to pray and unite in their communities and get the police involved in their communities and have them teach them self-defense, how to protect themselves, how to protect their homes, what are their rights. This is what they need to do. Instead of focusing on all the crap they're doing, the people need to do positive things. They need to bring their communities together, and any public servants who vote against the Constitution, whether it's city, county, or state level, they need to exercise, which they're not going to do because they're too lazy.
Right.
They need to exercise their right to recall them and vote. Recall them immediately and kick them out of office. And the other option is to vote them out and get out and vote. But and tell everyone who to vote for, who not to vote for if they're an activist, and if they want to save their country, because now is the time for every good, loyal American to come to the aid of their country and their God, and to pray for our government and hope that God changes their hearts and their minds and awakens them. And, rather than trying to fight them, only God can change people's hearts and minds.
Right.
And prayer is very powerful. And the American people need to pray for their country. They need to pray for their country. We need to have a revival in this country. And God's supernatural power, He can come and smite anybody. And remember, they're just human beings. People put too much emphasis and make them all powerful. Well, if they wrongfully harm people in America, they're violating our laws. That's the bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
They're violating our laws, and they are self-appointing themselves and for self-gain and giving themselves powers that they don't actually have according to the U.S. Constitution or their job duties. So we don't want to empower them. We want to use, everything we have available to us constitutionally, legally, and peacefully, and all that good stuff, because that's what Americans do.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, you don't want your guns taken away from you. So if you don't, you need to contact your congressman every single day or every other day.